Good night, everybody. We are live now with Chris Blair. He's
Good night. Good morning.
This guy lives in the other side of the world, so he's literally having breakfast while I just had dinner, and he's having a morning coffee break in Malaysia, or you know what I mean. So you see some people in the back of him and kind of like this. It's because he is in a whole different world right now. It's been a while. It's been a while since we actually had a talk. So we're gonna wait for a couple of people to start getting notifications that we are live and stuff like that. How you been, my friend?
But hey, by the way, I'm just curious. I just turned the phone sideways. Did it screw up the view?
Well, you are now like right here, but yeah, I can see you.
How about that?
You're fine. We're fine right there.
Oh, beautiful. You know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna pull out my little tripod and put the phone down. How you guys doing? Sorry about that. Normally I do these things from my. Sorry, what's wrong?
No, you're fine now.
Okay. Normally I do these things from my iPad, but I lost my iPad Pro earphones last night, and it's a little early to get. The iPad Pro earphones are not something that are available anywhere at the convenience store. The electronics shops are just opening now, so I didn't have time to get a new one before this call. So I'm actually doing this from my phone. Let me put the phone down and I'm just grab my tripod.
Okay. So, what would I be alive without us being actually having like to explore and experiment the last second, right, guys? It's 9 p.m. Central Time. It's been a while since I actually have a night show. Actually, all the interviews lately have been in the middle of the day, which is kind of weird for me. Usually all my interviews tend to be at night. I know a bunch of you were used to them. But I decided that it was time to start getting people involved from different sides of the world. They bring different aspects to the e-commerce that not only from the perspective of America being so centralized, and when it's actually a globalized, word. I mean, a lot of people that Chris actually lives in Japan. So, I mean, he runs his Ecom business from there, and he sells worldwide. He has been live with us a couple of times in the past, and and people have really learned a lot about Facebook ads and conversions and scaling and finding the right products. I know a lot of members of my community have either joined his mastermind community or have taken at least the Top Hat Challenge, which was a very nice intro course at some point. That I know a lot of you actually took advantage. I know we are not here to sell you that course at all. I'm just stepping a little behind, remembering where we were. Hello, Sandy. How are you? So, a lot of people haven't really heard from you. Like, what was that? When's the last time? Like 6 months ago? No, probably more.
More than that. Maybe 6 or 8 months.
Yeah, it was right before I got sick, and I decided to stop doing all these live interviews. So you're number 2 on my new Ecom Success Secrets show.
By the way, I love that little logo in the upper right there, the FS.
You like it? Actually,
I just noticed that now. I'm like, oh, that's really cool looking.
You see, when they developed my website, I went through a whole branding with the Slava and Guna and everything else, and they built the logo for my website. And this is not the logo for the website. I actually looked at this logo and I said, I like that logo a lot, but it didn't look logical in my website. So I said, you know what? This is gonna be the branding for my videos on my YouTube channel. So I took it and I said, I'm taking this with me. And they're like, but this is not for your brand. I'm like, I don't care. I like it. So everything else, you see all my banners and you see, my website, FernandoSustaita.com and everything. It's a whole different logo. But I like that logo a lot. It was like, I don't know. It was like something about it connected with me. Honestly, I don't know what I don't really know what it means, but I just like it.
It's pretty cool.
Thanks. Yeah, I'm excited. My website is now finally up, and I mean, it lacks a lot of content still, but it's coming together. It's been like 8 months of building. So let's get to talk a little bit about you, Chris. I mean, there's some people that probably know you, probably don't know you. So let's start from there and let's start getting into the topic: Facebook ads and how to scale them.
Okay. All right, so first, guys, just so you know who I am, and I think this is really important because, especially in this day and age, And this is going to sound a little bit negative, and I don't mean it to be negative, but it's a reality. There's a lot of people out there who are what I call one-hit wonder gurus. Okay, in other words, they have their first success ever, right, on Ecom, and so they have maybe one product that sells, and they have suddenly for 3 or 4 months they're making good money, and suddenly they think they are qualified to be a trainer and coach and go out there and teach, and some of them are, and some of them are not, but I am not that way at all. So I started part-time online in 2009, went full-time in 2010, did digital marketing, affiliate marketing for a couple of years, and then mid to late 2012, I discovered selling T-shirts on Teespring. So I define e-commerce, just like everyone else in the marketplace, as selling a physical product to an end user that's physically shipped to them. Okay. Digital and software and all that stuff, that's more internet marketing stuff, right? Okay, so that type of business, especially in 2012, did not have success until 2013. So I had a good 6 to 8 months of struggle where things did not work out. I really started exploding in 2013, and in late 2013, after learning a lot from struggling and then having a good sustained success for 8 months, where I was literally one of the top sellers on Teespring. Teespring and Faberty were sister companies at the time, and then became one company. They hosted their first event ever in London, which they invited speakers to come out and speak to teach people how to sell T-shirts. And I was I was lucky. They paid for my flight and my hotel, and they had me out, and I spoke at the event. And it was a great experience, and that really kicked off my coaching and training from that point. And so 2014, 15, 16, 17, and 18, now 19, okay? I've run Shopify stores, and I have done coaching and training. So I have a lot of experience in not only running a store, the ups and downs of running a store, but also in helping other people become successful. My stores are not always, they're not always rocking. That's a facade that people put out in the marketplace. My stores have ups and downs. Today I'm having a good day, but just 3 days ago we had a bad day, right? We actually had a bad day. We lost money, right? And that can happen. Now we've had 3 days in a row we've made a lot of money, so it makes up for that bad day. But anyway, the point is, I've seen the ups and downs of this marketplace, and I've also know what to do when you have a downtime, how to overcome that, and how to get back into the profitability. So anyway, I just wanted to let you guys know who I am and the fact that I've been around this game for a long, long time. And so that's one of the reasons why I'm qualified to do this and do what I'm doing as far as coaching and training. And the reason why I'm doing the coaching and training, people have always asked me this all the time. Well, why are you doing the coaching and training? And the truth to be told is that I actually like this part of this business more than I like running my stores. Running a store is great, and it's a perfect fit for 99% of the people. But to me, sitting in front of the computer all day, analyzing data, it just drives me mind-numbing and bored. I get bored of it very quickly. So at one point, this is back when I first started doing this in 2015. When I first got to university, I spent 3 years teaching English in Kyoto, Japan. Absolutely loved it. It was the best job I ever had. I went on to doing sales and all sorts of other stuff. I started having success. I thought, I have a passion for teaching. I really liked it. So why don't I leverage that passion? This gives me a chance to connect with people and keep me. And so I'm able to now run my stores, right, and also do the coaching and training and do these things like interview. And I love my life right now. This is a perfect balance for me to be able to have my stores going, but also have other stuff.
Sorry, I have no idea what I did. I have no idea what I did. Sorry, go on.
Yeah, that's it.
Okay. Yeah, I pushed something and started playing on the side. But yeah, one of the messages I want in these interviews is that I only want to have here people that keep it real. Okay. Mm-hmm. I don't want to have interviews, guests that is like everything is like beautiful and every single day I'm killing it and every day is like win 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 win, because that in my book is bullshit. We fail a lot in our businesses. We have very good days, we have horrible days, we have horrible weeks, we have horrible months, but they will have successful months that make up for the losses. And that is the reality in any business. That's why brick and mortar, that's what they have called it Black Friday, because the whole year they're negative and then on Black Friday they actually come into positive. It's a normal trend, but you hear all these new gurus saying, "Oh my God, I'm winning, 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 winning." Nah, you're not. It's not true, because if you had done this for a long time, you know that we have ups and downs. We have reality checks, and it is part of doing business. We can have right now, and we will talk about this as we go into the conversation. We can have right now a shirt that could be killing it every single day, sell, 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 and the next day the fade is over. It's over. And then you have to go in testing. How many shirts have we tested for my store, Chris, in the last 2 weeks, and we haven't found a winner yet?
I think 10 to 15, maybe. I don't know.
No, about the ones you checked, but it was like 30.
Really? Okay.
Because the ones you checked, well, I was 15, yeah, but I did more. And I haven't found a winner yet. I know I want to find, I only have to find one or two. So I need to find, and then it will skyrocket again. But, you have to test. And all the guys say, like, oh, yeah, my winner died. But the next day I had another one that was killing it. Yeah, right. It doesn't happen like that.
Yeah, actually, I want to talk about this. Because see, the way paid advertising works. Okay. Let me take a step back here and talk about Amazon, right? Since I know for a fact that many people in this group come from the Amazon world. Okay, Amazon, you put your shirts or your products, whatever. It doesn't have to be shirts on Amazon, and you obviously do some things to optimize, and you could do Amazon ads if you want to. You guys know more about Amazon than I do. But what I do understand is that you can have a product that that makes product A will make, say, I love beer, will make a few sales here and there, and Beer Me will make a few sales here and there, and it seems to be this equilibrium of, I mean, there might be some discrepancy, but the products in general sell the same or similar, right, numbers. The with the, what do you call it, the
go white
discrepancy is small. Okay. This is totally different when you run a Ecom store based on paid advertising, okay? And the reason being is this, and I'll explain this to you. So when someone goes to Amazon, right, they're in shopping mode. If someone goes into Amazon and searches funny beer T-shirt, they are looking for beer T-shirts, and they are practically shopping. So they'll probably look at many shirts and buy several of them, okay? Well, with paid ads, right, it doesn't matter what the platform is. Pinterest, Snapchat, these are all platforms we're using these days. Facebook, Instagram, Reddit, whatever sort of social media thing that we're using, right? No one goes on those platforms to go shopping today. Not a single person. Okay. However, we've been selling, and we've had several products. I've had 3 products that go over 20,000 units sold. Okay. Through Facebook ads. Now, how is that possible? Well, what happens is you get this product, and some people call it the golden offer. Some people call it the winning product. Some people I call it the driver. Because what will happen is, for some reason, some product will resonate, and it will, sales on that will skyrocket, and it will drive traffic. If you look at, if I showed you my sales reports and my products, you'll see all these products have thousands. These few products have thousands of units sold, and then there's a few products that have a few hundred units sold, and then there's some products who've got none. And I got to get rid of them, get them off my site, and so the discrepancy is massive. And the reason being is I'm driving traffic through ads. So what happens with ads is 80-20 rule. Okay, most of the stuff you advertise will not be good enough, or clever enough, or interesting enough, or resonate enough for numerous reasons, that it'll drive people to your website to go buy. But then you find this one product or 2 products that's like, wow, for some reason this is just clicks, and people love it, right? It's a combination of great product, good design, good slogan, good expression, or pattern, or whatever, right? There's some niches where patterns work better than slogans. And so they go to the website, and once they're on their website, here's the ironic part. Just like they were on Amazon, right? Once they're shopping, they'll buy other stuff. Happens all the time. I mean, I have certain products that, if I have a cap that says Beer Me. Okay, this cap does not sell well through ads at all. I sell them quite often as an extra. So I'll drive traffic on this one product, And then when they're on my website, they'll start looking around and they'll buy other stuff. And Beer Me is one of those things that they end up adding to the cart and buying as an extra. Okay, so this is really hard for people going from Amazon to get wrap their head around. So I always tell to my students, okay, you're one product away. At any given point in time, it doesn't matter if you haven't made a single sale at all. You are literally one product away. All it takes is one. Okay. Now to get there is not easy, right? You gotta learn your niche. You've got to do product research and try to figure out come up with unique ideas. And then when you launch a product, you gotta analyze the data and see how people reacted to it. I mean, Fernando, on our calls, right? I'll look at what you had there and I'll say, okay, because they reacted to this, maybe we should try this. Maybe we should try that. Every single product launch, win or fail, is a learning opportunity. And that's how you got to approach this business. And that is how you don't become a one-hit wonder, right? Anyone can get lucky once. Seriously, anyone can. I've seen. I remember this. Okay, I remember this post. It was about a year ago, but this guy posted in a Shopify group, a dropship group, right? He was not doing print on demand. He was dropshipping stuff from China. He said, "I started my Ecom journey about a year ago, right before Christmas. It was he said it was September. This is 2018. He wrote this thing, and the second product I launched I started advertising from AliExpress, took off, and over the Christmas season I made $300,000 in sales and $150,000 in profit. And he goes, I don't know what to do. I'm lost now. I've not had success since then. And of course, the guy doesn't have any coaching, training, or mentoring. He's asking for help. So literally, he had a 3 or 4 month window where he just got lucky. He just, for some reason, the stars aligned. He found something great on AliExpress that fit, resonated, perfect timing of the year. And then I actually responded and said, you need to go get course and training and get help. And he laughs. He's like, I don't need that. I'm like, dude, you got lucky one time. That's not a system. Anyway, he ignored my advice, and I have no idea what happened to him.
But yeah, I mean, it's all about testing. I mean, we had one design that we tested on Tantop. We had an amazing amount of engagement, like 250 likes and shares and stuff like that. 0 sales. We moved that design into what was that? A Tumblr. And it got an amazing amount of engagements again, 0 sales. And then I finally moved it into can coolers or koozies, whatever you want to call it. Again, an amazing amount of likes and shares, 0 sales, which means that sometimes a product is like, it's an awesome gag. People will engage to it. They just don't want to buy it. I mean, it was one of those that I was like, okay, I had to try in different products and see if the other products were, if it was one product that will resonate. I am still going to try it now in just the basic shirt, but $5 used to see if anything happens. Use because I don't want to say I didn't try in a basic shirt. But sometimes it takes like that, right? You gotta go and say, okay, this one didn't work in this product. Let me see if it works into the product. If the engagement was there, if you got 0 engagement, then you know that don't even bother with that, right?
I often do that. I mean, in fact, a lot of my, and that was why I suggested to do that. It didn't work out in this case, but I often do that, and I've also had a lot of students do that. So if we have a product or design, right, whatever the design is, okay. Let's say the design is I love beer, which is a totally lame idea and will not sell on Facebook. But anyway, let's just use that as a sample. So let's just say I have a I love beer design and it's put it on a T-shirt, and for some reason it just doesn't sell well on a T-shirt. And there can be numerous reasons for that. T-shirts have been pushed on Facebook for a long time. But still, I got a lot of comments and shares. I don't really pay attention to likes because likes are just dubious. I mean, I will like a post on Facebook from a friend who has the complete opposite political opinion of me, because it's my friend who posted that, and I respect his opinion. It doesn't mean that I agree with that. So don't pay attention to likes. They're meaningless. What really matters is comments and shares. Someone taking the time to comment, taking the time to share, that's genuine show of interest. So what you want to do when you have a product that you have a design of some sort that you put on the product, it gets a high engagement, but for some reason it doesn't make sales. Don't give up on that one. Take that same design and put it on something else. Now, often, right, depending on the product type you put it on, you're going to have to adjust the design to make it fit properly, which is extra effort, but it's worthwhile because you will often, not in this particular case, didn't work out, but often I've seen it so many times where if you just put it on a different product, suddenly, bang, it takes off. So that's one strategy that's really important when you have something that's clicking like that, resonating as far as engagement. Now, as far as things, that stuff that gets high engagement doesn't sell, that happens. I mean, I can remember one in particular. We posted it on my fan page. Now I've got a massive fan page. At the time, it was around 300,000 fans. Now it's almost 500,000. But anyway, so we post images of our products on our fan page without the link. By the way, without the link. This is really, really critical. Okay, if you have a high engaged fan page where people are engaging, you can basically test for free. You post the image on your Facebook page, right? Without the link, because if you put the link, Facebook is going to give you low reach because they want you to pay to take people off Facebook. Later on, if you're going to advertise, you can go back and edit the post and add the link. So anyway, we put the image on our Facebook page. We write, "What do you think of this?" or "Do you like this?" Something like that, and this thing exploded within an hour. And you're not going to believe these numbers, but Fernando knows the fan page, and we get crazy engagement on some posts. I mean, thousands and thousands of shares. This thing had, within an hour, 1,300 shares and 1,000 comments. So I'm thinking, woohoo, we are on. I got something hot. So, we start replying back to people. I have my staff reply back to them. Reply back to everyone, give them the link, give them the link, give them the link, give them the link. So I was hoping tons of free sales, and one sale came in. One sale did come in. I'm thinking that's kind of weird, but anyway, the engagement was nuts. So I went ahead and edited the post, started advertising, and again, this engagement, just insane engagement. At the end, after like 3 days of advertising this thing, we had like 10,000 shares and almost 9,000 some comments, and we were engaging with the people on the post, and we literally sold like 2 of them, and I spent like $50-$60 on ads, and I was just puzzled beyond belief. So finally I'm like, let's start private messaging people who commented, and let's ask them why they didn't buy. So that's exactly what I had my VA in the Philippines do. She started, so not replying to the comment, literally messaging people privately, because Facebook has that option, like, reply, or message the people who comment. And the feedback was basically this. There was various feedback, but if I have to put it in a nutshell, that's hilarious, but only a douchebag would wear that. So they thought it was funny, but they would look like a total loser wearing it. But they thought the whole slogan was hilarious. So that's a story that shows that sometimes you have something that you think, based on the engagement numbers, is going to take off, but in reality, is for some reason or another, it's just too corny or too
vulgar sometimes. Let's put it that way.
Too vulgar. Just do something. Yeah.
So I'm not the only one that gets that. Okay, now you guys noticed something when I talked about the products I tested. You notice I never said that I started testing on shirts, and that's something that I've learned through Chris, is that shirt market is kind of saturated to drive traffic. I wanted to test on something else, so I've been testing on tank tops. I've been used to have an apparel test, tumblers. I've been even testing phone chargers, power banks, and coolers, because I want to see if I can disturb the market in something that people are not used to. Right now you go into your timeline and you go scrolling as shirt, game. Or in my case, it's entrepreneurs trying to sell me something every freaking time, and then a shirt. But you never see another product, something. So you just pass them. But when you start showing them something else, like now it catches attention if they really want to see it. So that's why I've been changing the deal. And that was actually the whole concept inside your, top hat challenge that you had in the past. It was, let's try a different product first,
Let's
and
try hats.
let's sell hats. Now, I don't like selling hats because I don't like to get into the embroidery, but I know some people come into that because I'm not a designer and I don't want to waste time, tweaking all that stuff. But I know a lot of people do, right? But talk a little bit more about that. Why is it important to, disturb the market with something different than what everybody else is doing?
So I mean, when it comes to print on demand space, I mean, what are the three most products that have been sold through Facebook ads since Teespring started back in Teespring started back in late 2011.
T-shirts,
T-shirts and hoodies.
hoodies.
Yeah, T-shirts, mugs.
And
Mugs
hoodies.
came next, and then hoodies. The basic hoodie and the basic T-shirt, and also phone cases, right? Phone cases, right? Not the fancy wallet phone cases, but the standard phone cases, right? So, and there was all these courses and that came out, and people were saying, hey, you become a millionaire with Teespring, right? And it's true, people did make money with Teespring, but the point is, though, more and more people were advertising those type of products: mugs, hoodies, and T-shirts, right? And Teespring and the other ones that came out, they're like Represent and Viral Style and Gear Bubble and all these ones that you can do that stuff. They don't care. I mean, to them, it's great because you're out there advertising. You create the design. Brother, I'm not criticizing their business model. In fact, I love Teespring and Gear Bubble and Represent and these guys who created those platforms. And in fact, if it wasn't for them, I would never be on Shopify. I would never graduated from that level, right, where I'm making my own designs and I'm selling through their platform and through their branding. And I'm now running my own stores and building my own brand. I would never reach that level without them. And I think they're great ways of getting started. But here's the thing: the reality is, though, is they have thousands and thousands of sellers all selling T-shirts and all selling coffee mugs, right? And so it proliferates the newsfeed. Okay, so I mean, the potential customers out there have banner blindness to those type of products. We as Shopify sellers have a big advantage, and that is we can, through the print-on-demand suppliers and Shopify, we have a huge variety of different products, now thousands of products. I think it's around 2,000 products that we can sell. So we should take advantage of that and be unique in the marketplace. And by the way, if you don't want to build your own Shopify store and you just want to focus on building designs and advertising, I recommend you go to Gear Bubble. Gear Bubble at least has like 20 some product types that you can use, right? They do have some unique, cool stuff, right? As far as I know, Teespring only has tote bags, phone cases, and mug cups and T-shirts, right? So, yeah, I mean, if you want to sell through someone else's brand, you don't want to make your own Shopify store, then I recommend Gear Bubble.
I haven't used Gear Bubble in a long time, but I know that Donald is having very good success, still with mugs. I mean, the guy's a mug genius. I mean, I don't think anybody does more mugs than he does. He's very good at marketing them. But yeah, it's all about testing. It's all about finding the right product and, and being able to, identify. And the same thing happens, when we go into Etsy. It's all about A/B testing. Sometimes, you can create a listing with an image, and that image doesn't resonate with the customers, and you go and change the image for a different image to showcase the product better, sometimes from a different angle, sometimes with a different background. It can really make the difference. When you go sometimes in Etsy and you see everybody using the same type of mock-ups, like the folded shirt with the pair of shoes and the pair of jeans, and everything looks the same, and in a white background, it's very difficult to pick yours. But if you go and distort it and make it actually look different, the image it sometimes can make a huge difference. Same thing happens, when you have, something based in Facebook ads. I see a lot of people running ads with a T-shirt about this small and the ad about that big, and everything around is like absolutely nothing. But when you are in a phone and you're doing this, that looks tiny. They don't see it. So you have to really consider sometimes when you're doing something that you are really invading the person's, you gotta take advantage of all the real estate they give you to show that product so they can actually see it before they skip it. It's a lot of money wasted, because of the lack of good images in advertisement.
Yep. Absolutely.
You can probably elaborate on that because you actually, you have a different method on doing those things than I used to do.
We like to upload a non-clickable image. You just heard me right. I shit you not. The image is not clickable. They click it. It just opens up on the screen. It doesn't click to the website. And then we put the link in the post. Okay, now that is counterintuitive to a lot of people. Why do you do that? I mean, don't you want people to go to your website? Well, there's a couple arguments for why this works better, and it's been, by the way, it's case in proof that I've got thousands and thousands and thousands and thousands and thousands and thousands of sales since 2012, and so do my students. Okay, so, well, the non-clickable image allows you to be now 1200 by 1650. Okay, so that's big. That is a lot of real estate, and so when the person's scrolling through their newsfeed, they can see it, which is what you want. It's the maximum amount of real estate that you can take. And so, of course, the person's natural instinct is to click the image, and it opens up into another window, and the link's still there. They can see the link. And so, what happens is two things. Number one, a motivated person sees the link after they realize the image doesn't take them to the site, and they click over and buy. We have sales up to wazoo, so that can tell you that's actually the case. And number two is, okay, I got to click the link. Oh, wait a minute. Let me tag Fernando. Hey, Fernando, check this out. Oh, let me share this on my wall, on my timeline. So you actually encourage engagement and the product going viral. So it's really great. So I recommend you use a non-clickable. So what you want to do is when you go to make your post, do not post the link first. Facebook will automatically pull the image from your site. It'll be the default image. It'll be the small one, 1200 by 628. Okay, you don't want that. So first thing you do is you upload your photo. So you save the photo to your computer. You upload it, right? So it's the big one, 1200 by 628. Then you go in and you add your comment. So, hey, do you like this, whatever? I don't know. Do you like this sex toy that we're selling on Facebook? Adult toy that we're selling on Facebook. Don't sell adult toys. You against the terms of service. I'd say that's a joke. Do you like this adult toy? And then put the link to it.
I was going to go. I was completely distracted. I'm like, what?
No, you're not allowed to sell dildos and rotors on Facebook.
Yeah, it's a lot of things you cannot. It can become like political correctness paradise. Another thing you have to really pay consideration is, for example, when you do like laser engraving products, usually everything that is there is font, right? When you do laser engraving products like tumblers or those power banks and stuff like that, the T-Launch cells and stuff like that. So it's very typical that Facebook approves the ad, but then they stop running it because they said that it's too much text. Because it's pretty much just a small object in the background with a bunch of text. So in those cases, yeah, you really want to retouch and add some background imagery and something like that. Because I had a lot of those ads lately that is like, it's too much fun. And I'm like, dude, it's just the logo in the middle. The rest is a tumbler. But I guess their intelligence system, artificial intelligence system, don't see the image of the tumbler or the power banks or whatever. They only see the actual text, and that is something that you need to consider. Like when you have a shirt, they're used to those, I guess. But when you put in different products, they're like, oh, it's too much font, too much text. But
yeah, so there's a couple, just two solutions. That number one is put an image in the background. So just so that it doesn't, have too much after. Number two, you can ask for a manual review, and often the manual review will be fine because text is part of the design is fine. What they don't want is an image for example, a digital product and the image is all this written text. They just which by the way, I'll be honest with you, I think the 20% text rule in that case is a bunch of bullshit. I don't understand Facebook's rules on that, but anyway, it is what it is. We are playing on their platform, so we have to abide by their rules.
It's their ball.
Yeah. So it's like you come to my house. For example, if you were to come to my house, I'm American, I'm living in Japan, you're taking your shoes off when you walk in the door.
Cool.
I do full Japanese style at home. I do not allow shoes, and I don't wear shoes inside either. So you may not like that, but you want to come to my house, you play by my rules.
I find, I look, it is something actually completely off subject, but I understand the whole concept of taking off your shoes. Like it's funny here in America, we go barefooted in the street where it's full of germs, but then we get shoes inside our house where we bring all the germs inside. So we are like completely backwards when it comes to that, right? But I have people come to my house and start taking their shoes, and I feel so freaking uncomfortable. It's like, dude, I don't want to smell you. I don't want to deal with that. I don't want you fungus on my carpet. I'd rather have the fungus from your shoes than the fungus from your toes, right? It's just weird. I don't know. Now, let's go backwards because we actually started in the middle. We started with the product and scaling and identifying. We didn't actually start with how do we run our first ad? Like how should we start it? Let's assume that we have a very cold pixel. We are starting today. We're gonna launch our first ad ever. We have no ATCs, no purchases, nothing. We have a freaking cold pixel, like really like useless pixel. How do we start to get that pixel warm? Because a lot of people actually fail at that. They want to go to conversions like in the very first day, and they get discouraged after spending hundreds of dollars saying, I never converted. It's because you have no data. So tell us a bit about that.
Well, it's not necessarily because you have no data. I mean, it could be because your product doesn't resonate. Because even with no data, if you have a really good product, you should start to make some sales. But so the first thing I recommend you do is just to set up a $5 PPE ad on your product for testing. The reason being is this. I mean, conversion ads require spending more money to truly get the data, whether it's going to work or not. And a $5 PPE ad, what it's going to do is going to send your ads out to what Facebook calls known engagers. Okay, what they mean? Facebook, as you guys know, I mean, by the fact that all the big uproar over privacy and the data, and the fact that Zuckerberg has had to go in front of Congress and he's been interviewed several times. They've collecting a lot of data on us. In fact, if Facebook, here's the ironic part, people are upset about the NSA collecting data. I mean, if Google and Facebook were a government, there would be 30 million people protesting in front of their home offices in Silicon Valley. Okay, I mean, I shit you not. The data they're collecting on us is astonishing, and it's a little bit scary. But anyway, for us advertisers, it's good. Okay, so they know they know. So let's just say you're targeting the word dog rescue. They know in the word dog rescue, that keyword, that interest, right? Who are the known engagers? Okay, who are likely to engage on an ad related to a physical product, okay? And they're going to take your $5 and they're going to serve it to those people, okay? You're looking not for sales, you're looking for engagement, because that's why it's called an engagement ad, okay? You want to see people commenting and sharing, okay? And let me give you some numbers, right? And now, guys, I hate answering this question, to be honest with you, because I've seen some niches where this does not apply. In fact, right now I'm working with a private coaching student who she gets almost no engagements on her stuff, but she's getting link clicks and sales. Okay, so there are exceptions. So these are just generalities, right? And you've got to learn your niche. But in general, okay, you want to have one comment for every $1 spent. So if you spend $5, you're looking for 5 comments. Okay. Now, if you have 3, that's not necessarily a bad sign either. Okay. But you want to have some engagement. Okay. You want to have comments. Okay. And for every $5 spent, you're looking for at least 2, if not 3 or 4 shares. Okay. So, but, and there can be various combinations. If you say you have 2 comments and say 22 shares, that's good too, right? I mean, but what you're trying to see is, okay, the known engagers are the low hanging fruit. Like they're the easiest to get a reaction from. Are the known engagers reacting? Okay. If they are, great. And you move to the next step. Okay. And I'll talk about the next step here in a second. If they're not, what do you guys think? Those watching the live stream, can we see comments here?
Yeah, but no posted so far.
Okay. All right. So if the known engagers are not engaging, what do you think, Fernando? You know the answer, but
let's double down. Let's go.
I hope you're joking.
It's time to kill.
Yeah. So, I mean, think about this. If you can't get the known engagers to engage, the odds that this product is a winner is almost 0. In fact, I put it less than 0. So there's not even the point. You just tested for $5 and you just saved yourself tons of money. Okay. Next, after that, if you do get the positive engagement, now keep in mind, again, as I said, there are niches of exception, but I'm just talking in for most niches, right? If you do get the positive engagement, then you want to go to conversion ads. Okay, conversion ads basically means that you're optimizing to have people take a certain action. Okay, and now what are the actions they could take? They could click the link and go view content, right? They could add to cart. They could initiate checkout, and they can purchase. All right, those are the 4 actions in any sales page for a physical product. All right, so day 1, I actually recommend that you start advertising to optimize for view content. Chris, wait a minute. Don't you mean that this means people click the link and go over? Yes, exactly. And so that is not a great optimization. It's not. I mean, here's the reality. Give me some numbers. If 100 visitors visit your website, Shopify's average conversion rate now is 1.5%. Now, there's a lot of stores that are really bad, and they contribute to a low range because there's tons of stores not doing any sales at all, or doing very little sales. The marketers don't know what they're doing. So I would say if you're a good advertiser, a decent range would be 2 to 3%. If you're in the 4 to 5%, you are killing it. If you're in the 5+, you are over the world. Okay, so let's forget about the bad advertisers. Let's raise that average. Okay, you're trying to get around 3%, and that's respectable, right? Okay, so 3 out of 100 people are going to buy. So you're optimizing for your optimizations, including 97 people that are not the right people. So that doesn't sound like a good idea at all. And you're right, it's not great. But here's the deal. You have nothing else for Facebook to optimize on. There's no data that's got enough meat in it. Okay? So you need to temporarily start off with view content. Once you get 25 add to carts on your store, 25. Okay, so you can go look. And by the way, not on your store, by the way. Oh, sorry, let me repeat that. You go on your Shopify dashboard, you might see 25 add to carts, right? And something that can happen for organic traffic. Someone shares with Fernando. Fernando goes to your store, adds the cart, maybe even purchases. That may not register on the pixel. The reason why it doesn't register because Facebook Fernando didn't visit my site directly from the ad. He visited my site because someone who I was advertising to tagged Fernando, and Fernando went over and bought. That happens, okay? So you want to look at the number of add to carts that Facebook is registering with the pixel, okay? Once you get to 25, then you can start optimizing by add to cart. And let's give you some more numbers as well. 3 people will add to cart, 2 will go to initiate checkout, 1 will purchase. This is normal. Sometimes it's 4 to 1. Okay. Now we're talking. Now we're talking. So we sent 100 visitors. We got maybe 4. Sorry, my bad. 12, 10 to 12. So you got 10 to 12% of people, right? So because you maybe have 10% out of the cart, 5% reach checkout, initiate checkout, reach checkout, and then 3 actually check out, right? We were talking 3% conversion. So now you're talking about 10 to 12 people out of the 100 that you're optimizing. Say, I want you to go out and optimize based on these 10 to 12 people. They went further down in the funnel. Now, next, I actually don't really recommend that you to go ahead and go for initiate checkout. Initiate checkout, for some reason, has never been such a great optimization. I only ever test it when I have a winning product to see how it does, but very rarely it does well. So once you get to about 25 to 30 purchases, then you can start testing out purchase. And I actually recommend that you test you test both. You don't do either one, right, exclusively. Sometimes add to cart really works well. Sometimes purchase really works well. And keep in mind, I mean, once you get to the add to cart stage, you're getting people who are showing some genuine interest. So, yeah, that's how I recommend you get started.
That's useful.
Now, if that was technical for some of you guys, I understand that. But go back and watch it again, and then go in your ads manager, take a look at select conversion ad, look at look at the optimization. You'll start to get the idea.
Yeah, I'll make a quick video soon to actually go inside the dashboard and actually show what I mean by different conversion styles and stuff like that, and where the drop menu, so you can clarify more about that. But yeah, pretty much is what it is. It's like we go first from pretty much going to, let's see the people that are typically use board in Facebook, the ones that are always saying like, share, like. If we don't get reactions from those people that use love to like stuff we mentioned, you have like these more to dead mom and home doing absolutely nothing but like, and then they see your stuff and they don't like it, that your product has absolutely zero chance. If nobody's liking it. So we go then into hey, let's try driving traffic now to the site. We're not really looking. We know we're not going to make a lot of sales, but we know that, hey, let's start getting that pixel, to say, hey, people are visiting, people are coming, and if a sale comes, it's welcome. And then then once you optimize everything, let's go for the kill. Once you have an optimized pixel, you don't have to go through all the stages. You can go directly. You want to for the kill, or still test only for the PPE. I mean, we have kill ads in engagement in like $2-3 spend, because we're like, okay, we got the data, we need it. And sometimes we don't even go to the $5. Sometimes we go and say, let's give it another $5 more before we even go, because it's kind of like cross messaging data that we're like, let's see a little bit more. And sometimes we kill it and $7 or $8. So don't feel that you have to spend always the $5 to get the data. Sometimes $3 is more than enough. Especially
actually, that's a really good point. I mean, that's a really good point, and I should have brought that up. We've had this happen. This happens all the time. It's not normal. So you'll set up your PPE ad, and you'll spend $2, and you'll get 10 shares and 2 or 3 comments. Stop the PPE ad. That's enough.
Yeah.
I mean, you just got, in $2 spend, you just got enough information to know that, okay, this thing's got potential. I've got to go to a conversion ad on this. Okay, so yeah, you don't necessarily always have to spend the $5, but the point is, to use PPE as a cheap way of not finding winners, right? You're only going to prove if it's a winner or not through a conversion ad, but eliminating and getting rid of the definite losers without spending money. With conversion ads, you got to spend $20 or $30 to truly know. Okay, and so if you think about that, right, it's a numbers game, right? And so let's just say you do I don't know, 1 product a day for 7 days. Well, and let's say you didn't get a winner at all, and you skipped the PPE thing and you just went for straight conversion ads, and you spent $20 on each one. That's $140. Now, if you do 2 a day, that's $280. If you do 3 a day, and so on, it goes. the point I'm making is you can rip through some serious money in a heartbeat if you just go directly to conversion ads, which is why when I see some of the, teaching that method, I say, oh, not good. I mean, you're going to kill people's budget because, I mean, you guys ever hear about card counting, right? Okay, I actually studied card counting when I was in university. I liked blackjack. I like analyzing data.
Yeah.
So anyway,
I was at some point.
Okay, card counting totally works. Now the casinos do certain things to try to discourage you from card counting, but if they were to let you sit at the table, right, play the system exactly right, not interfere with you at all, not kick you off the table, not suddenly shuffle the cards, and truly let you do it, and on a single deck especially, you would kill the casino. Because if you could maximize all the different things you can do, when you change your strategy based on the count and all this stuff, it's a totally mathematical system. But there's one problem, and I remember that I talked about this: bankroll. There's mathematical variance, right? And if you don't have enough bankroll to overcome a potential downswing, you may, even though you're doing all the right things, but mathematically, even you're doing all the right things, you're supposed to win 70% of the time, but you end up in that 30% where you lose when you're betting a lot of money. Then suddenly you could run out of money before you even able to capitalize on your advantage. Well, this is the same thing that's happening in Ecom. By all these people going out and spending all these money on conversion ads, a lot of people are just running out of money before they even can test enough products, and they have to give up. And that's a sad situation.
You see that all the time in the Shopify groups. All the time. I had a $3,000 budget. I burned through it, and I don't know what to do. I don't have any more cash left. And I and when I finally found a product, I had no more money to scale.
Yeah. So this is why this PP. This is why I mean, back in 2013, I was facing that same situation. And Pat and I was working with Mass Stefanik, and we were like, man, we're getting winning products, but we're testing 20 or 30 and spending $20, $30 on them for every winning product we find. And it takes so much time and effort to overcome those losses against the profit. And we are still profitable. We're still making money. But I recognized this. I said, wait a minute, this is really hurting our profitability. How can we test for cheaper? And then I came up with the PPE idea and tested it over and over and over again. And I found the direct correlation between stuff that gets highest engagement and stuff that turns into winners. So then I realized, I can eliminate 95% of the products that we test on $2 to $5 in ad spend on a PPE. Beautiful. I mean, that means that I save a lot of money. I mean, a lot. It adds up very quickly. And that means I have more cash to test. It also means that when I find that winning product, I have less losses to overcome to get into profitability. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it is. I mean, like you can go $5, and go, in conversions, and don't get really that. You go for the 10, you go for the 15, you go for the 20. But you go and check, in $2, $3, you're like, man, nobody has liked it, nobody has shared it, nobody has commented. It's already $3. Then you kill this. Like, nobody will at 5 either. Another thing that a lot of people make mistakes is that they go and start the ads very late, in the day, and Facebook burns, and then they make it run for one day. So Facebook is like, oh, I only have today to spend the money. Let me burn that money like right away. And I've seen them, like the ads just go like, boom, in 5 minutes, $10 were wasted. You don't get real data because you don't have the whole behavior of a whole day. People tend to go different times on Facebook during the day, and it's best to start them at some point in the morning so you can get like a real, sampling of how things going to be the behavior. And when you go and you spend your whole budget in like literally 2-3 hours, it's just crazy. The only time that I actually profit from doing something like that was when I was selling fan print, and it was the the last game of this, the championship of the hockey teams, and the game ended at at 10:30, and I was live at 10:29 already with the ads running for the winning championship deal. That was the only case that I actually I didn't care. My budget was burning so fast because it was converting like crazy. People were literally buying this stuff as the game was ending. But that was a whole different, idea, right? Uh, we are going at 9:55. We have like 10 more minutes. Anything else any questions you guys may have, or that you would like to ask Chris on Facebook ads, or anything that you would like to have as a closing statement, and then we can wrap this conversation. In here? Yeah. Okay, there are questions. So you use closing statements.
No. Yeah, thank you for being on. I hope you guys got a lot of value out of this. Feel free to reach out to me and message me and say, hey, I came from Fernando's group. It'd be great to connect with you.
Yep, that will be nice. Do you still have any coaching spots available right now, or you're fully booked?
No. If someone I can take on one coach. If someone wants to do my private coaching, private message me. Again, say you came from Fernando's group. That'd be great.
Alrighty, man. I really recommend his coaching. He is my coach at the end of the day, and I have learned a lot about it. Actually, a lot of the things I talk about Facebook ads actually comes because whatever I learned from him. So I'm kind of like copycatting him in a way. Let's put it that way. But he's the man, and I really recommend him. Anyways, I want to thank every one of you for watching. Thanks so much. I know a lot of people were, watching this for some reason. I don't know if the tool was not giving you a lot of comments, or you guys were just shy, or were you trying to digest everything Chris was talking about. But I want to thank everybody who watched, and we will see you soon. Have a wonderful night.
All right.
Thank you, Chris.
Cheers.